Markets are continuing their run today as we have a couple of meme stock breakouts. So let's take a look at that. That's hard to say, meme stock breakouts. But the Dow finished up 0.8%, 268 points. S&P up 1.28, NASDAQ up 1.76. And the big news of the day, obviously, is the rally is starting to price in a softer inflation report than last time. So declining inflation, but still very high. So what we'll likely see, and we'll take a look at the charts in a minute, is like last time, we'll see a bounce after the inflation report and then probably deceleration after that as the Fed continues to come out and try to stamp the markets down because, again, they want tightening financial conditions. Bed Bath & Beyond jumped 68% and AMC jumped 21% in the last gasp rally. And a lot of interesting price action going on there. So let's jump into the charts and check that out because this is interesting. Here's Bed Bath & Beyond, hit the bottom on Friday last week. And since last Friday is up 179 basis points. That's kind of when they announced that they would probably have to file bankruptcy. They're laying people off, shutting down stores and looking at bankruptcy. And of course, what does that mean? Well, that means let's all pile into Bed Bath & Beyond. So interesting price action there. AMC obviously is the other one, the meme stock of the day. AMC jumping from the bottom on, well, last Friday was the low for a lot of stocks. 30%, up 30% since last Friday, and continuing its run after hours right now. So it'll be interesting to see how far AMC can run and see how far Bed Bath & Beyond can run. The last time Bed Bath & Beyond went on a run, when that famous investor made, I don't know, what was it? I can't remember. I thought it was 100 million, a couple hundred million maybe, or something like that. At 30, it jumped up to $30. And then after that, there were a couple of other plays where we had some meme stock action where that investor was thought to be working on some other tokens, or maybe he was in something else and they thought he was into Bed Bath, or I think it was a Bed Bath play. Yeah, that's right. Then they thought he was into mind medicine. And that's when this mind medicine jumped up to about $19. But this one's traded back down a little bit, although it's up since the end of December, about 20-30%. So that one's pretty good. But I've been watching Bed Bath & Beyond. Silvergate, of course, is the other company looking at bankruptcy. Carvana is one. Haven't looked at Carvana today. That is, I think bankruptcy is imminent or close for. Still hanging around the bottom there. All the used car dealers. CarMax is struggling a little bit as well, I think. So let's take a look at the traditional markets. And here's the Dow right here. And kind of what we've been watching is finding support on this trend line and potentially working its way back up to put in a double top and then roll over, retest the trend line to see if it breaks or if it kind of continues to hold support on this trend line and march its way down. NASDAQ, what we're targeting here is a pump up into this trend line and down, which is another probably 3% from here. Yeah, it's about 2.5%, 3%. S&P just about to the trend line now. May crack it like it did over here and then roll over and then again go back to test these October lows on the NASDAQ and S&P to see if they hold or see if we are going to break to new levels, new lows. And most likely what will happen potentially is that markets will potentially go set a new low and then try to find a base at that standpoint. Because once that happens, you're back to almost pre-pandemic levels before a lot of this liquidity was thrown into the market, although that was still coming off of, a QE environment, low interest rates, things like that, but just not as significant as this. So, it could make sense for markets to wind their way back down to that pre-pandemic level. And as long as the economy can survive the tightening by the Fed, which so far it has, consumers are still spending. We'll see what earnings look like here, but consumers are still spending. Labor market is still pretty strong. So the Fed hasn't done but so much so far. It's affected things a little bit. China's reopening. So with China reopening, the two schools of thoughts there are it could bring inflation down because they're opening, which will bring supply back into the system. The other school of thought is there's a lot of pent-up demand that reopening could flood the market with commodities and with commodities and just things in general that people are looking for. product, I guess is the word I'm looking for, in different areas that could drive sales and create some more inflationary environment because there's just more product coming into the market for people to buy, like cars. There hasn't been a lot of cars, so the theory would be, well, if we could have more cars in the market, people would continue to buy them, which would continue to drive up prices. One of the things that is affecting the car market, obviously, is financing, interest rates up, but also there's nothing to buy. There's limited inventory at a lot of the places. Even though there's more inventory, it's limited choices, more expensive. So if they have more choices, people would be, and interest rates were a little lower, people would be likely to go ahead and purchase. Here's Bitcoin working its way back up to the trend like I was talking about in the last couple of videos, potentially getting back to this $17,000 to $18,000 area to see if it puts in another double pop, kind of like here, and then rolls over to a new low. So that's kind of fully what it looks like it's going to do, just like back in the last inflation report, which was that December 13th. So that was right in this area here. This was the last time inflation report came out, the 12th and 13th. So Bitcoin popped those 2 days about 8%. So if you look at today and tomorrow, where does that put us? If a Bitcoin pops 8%, puts you right back, 6-7% will put you right back into that range. 8% gets you up there quite a bit into the almost 19,000. So that's possible, but I think it's most likely going to hold in this range here of somewhere around 17.8 to 18.3, somewhere in that range. But that's what it did last time. Markets did the same thing, popping up about 5-6%, and then ultimately rolling over and retesting these lows here. And obviously, if they break, then we're going down to the next level. And if they hold, then they hold. And then you can say that if Bitcoin breaks, if Bitcoin doesn't break this 15,471 level, then it won't go below that level, right? That makes a lot of sense. So just a little technical analysis joke there, although I am not a technician by any means. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in the markets right now. And again, it's all about inflation. Then the Fed doesn't meet until February, so we have a few weeks before the Fed meets. But they're going to be speaking after the inflation report comes out. They're going to say it's too high. They're going to say our target is still 5% on the Fed funds rate, and they're still going to say we have a lot more work to do, and rates are going to be higher for longer. Still more pain to come, as Powell said the other day in his speech. So they want tightening financial conditions. They still haven't made a lot of headway with the labor market, which is still putting a lot of pressure on prices. And the reopening, again, is going to create more, almost a stimulative type of event, adding more, income to the economy, more revenue to the economy and companies. But the real question is going to be earnings. That's what's really going to be interesting after tomorrow. The next thing we start looking at is earnings. And then we can see what the banks look like and what companies are preparing for and what they're seeing in their outlooks. So that's kind of what I'm looking at and expecting. And if you're new to the channel, this channel is all about everything entrepreneurship. We talk about starting, buying, building, scaling companies. We talk about real estate investing and development. I talk about investing in stocks and cryptos because for the last 30 years, have been a global macro investor. All my investment decisions have been on the global macroeconomic environment, taking all those things into consideration, because everything I do, interest rates affect it, liquidity affects it. Whether you're buying companies, building companies, buying real estate, developing real estate, when you're making those types of moves, interest rates and the flow of liquidity greatly affects those things from a cap rate standpoint, from a multiple standpoint, and from a financing standpoint in terms of cash flow. So you got to kind of keep track of what's going on there, so you know how to pivot, you know what to expect, and you can get ahead of those moves. And I did go through the 2000-2008 timeframe, 2008-2009 timeframe, and so you can check it out on my channel. We can take a look real quick at my YouTube channel, so you can kind of see what it's all about in terms of, there we go, in terms of what kind of different playlists I have. So I've got a lot of really good information on my channel. I do keep my comments off because there's a lot of scams out there, a lot of spam bots. As soon as videos are posted, they're just all over it. So I just keep them off so nobody gets tripped up because they pretend to be like me and other people. But anyways, I've got these playlists here. Some of them are all about, I've got some shorts. I do shorts a lot, but economy, finance, investing, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and stocks, raising capital, real estate syndication, private equity, real estate agent training, entrepreneurship, podcasts I've been on, sales and negotiation, mindset, leadership, vision, real estate development, commercial, multifamily, residential. So hundreds and hundreds of videos here for you to watch and take in. And again, I talk about entrepreneurship, real estate, the economy, personal finance. I also have courses, a mastermind and coaching. If you're looking for help to take your game to the next level, maybe start a business, maybe get into real estate. If you're already there and you want to scale your company, I've got different levels to help different levels of people, whether you're getting started or you've been at it for a while. I work with people all around the world, helping them grow and scale their business and do the bigger deals. So make sure you take advantage of those resources. Check out the channel. I have tons and tons of videos there. Lots of great podcasts, interviews where you can hear about my background, what I do, but what I'm trying to do, my mission in life right now, is to give back, impact people, share everything I've learned over the last 30 years as a serial entrepreneur, real estate investor, and developer, investing in all things, all types of different companies, all types of different businesses, all types of different real estate, ground up as well as value add, residential, commercial, land development, pretty much everything. And then, of course, in stocks and crypto, I got in the stock market for the first time in the bottom of 2009. And then crypto, I got into for the first time back in 2018, 2019, just in and out a little bit, following it since probably 2016, 2017. Didn't really make any moves really till I guess, around the bottom of 2020, but a little bit in and out, and, been following it ever since. And so those are the things that I do, I talk about, and what this channel is all about. So I hope you're getting value from it. I hope I get messages every day, how people say that these videos have helped them change their lives, change their business. My courses, of course, the coaching and mastermind. You can go check that out on my website, see what people are saying about those things. But that's what I'm doing this for. That's what this is all about. So I hope you're getting value. I'll see you in the next video.